Yo, what's up? Ogechi here, back in the building with another video, and it's time for another review. Now, before I begin, just want to let y'all know, like I usually do, that if y'all hear any background noises and whatnot, that's my family. So, anyway, today's review is going to be on the first, second, or third, or fourth, or fifth story arc in the Hokuto no Ken, aka Fist of the North Star manga series created by Buronson and Tetsuo Hara from 1983, and that is the Fang clan arc. Now, this particular story arc picks up after the Golan arc, where Kenshiro, Lin, and Bot travel to this remote village, and its leader is Mamiya. And she is a warrior woman, and she wants to protect her village from the Fang clan. You know what I'm saying? Along the way, we get introduced to a mysterious warrior named Rei, the successor of a Nanto Seiken style called the Nanto Suichoken, or the South Star Waterfall Fist. You know what I'm saying? It has like the movements of a waterfall or a water bird, right? And it has some very deadly cutting techniques. And as y'all know, Nanto Seiken focus on the external tech, while Hokuto Shinken focus on the internal. Let me rephrase that again. Hokuto Shinken and it, along with other Hokuto styles, they focus on the internal, and the Nanto Seiken focus on the external, which means that their killing blows are very external, whereas, like I said, the Hokuto styles, especially Hokuto Shinken, is more internal. Especially when you see this with Hokuto Ryuken and Hokuto Sokoken and many others, which I will get to when we get to like Soten no Ken, aka Fist of the Blue Sky, which I need to get into reading, by the way. Anyway, Rei, he is the successor of Nanto Suichoken, and he's in search with the man with the 7 scars, or the Nanazu Kitsuno Otoko, basically, in Japanese. He meets Kenshiro in Mamiya's village, and it's surprisingly he's this spy for the Fang clan. You know what I'm saying? He reveals this. And then he has have a conversation, this relationship with Mamiya, which we're not going to get into until we get to like the Yuta arc, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, excuse me. And Mamiya and Rei, they didn't get along at first, especially with how Mamiya is. But with Rei, he does have a respect for her, despite, his demeanor towards her, and especially in the bath scene, which, I'm not going to get too into, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we did get some of that bod from Mamiya. But no, I'm just gonna stop because I don't want her to kick my ass if she was here in real life. Sorry, gotta make that joke. So Rei decides to join Kenshiro and Mamiya to protect the village and put an end to the Fang clan, much to the dismay of the Fang clan and its leader, which is Kiba, if I remember correctly. You know what I'm saying? Again, it's been a minute since I've read the arc. And then along the way, they fight against the Fang clan and all the minions. We come to find out that the Fang clan has Airi, Rei's sister. And speaking of which, we'll get into some of the backstory of Rei. And Rei has his gown, around this time, Airi's preparing for a wedding to get married, but suddenly their parents get killed, which is Rei and Airi's parents. And she was kidnapped by a man that has 7 scars, you know what I'm saying? And then she was sold off. And so Rei wants to find the man with the 7 scars and exact his revenge by killing him. Afterwards, anyway, back to what I was saying about Airi. Yeah, again, she's been sold off, you know what I'm saying? And the Fang clan, its leader, the Kiba, he kills the guy who has her, you know what I'm saying, and decides to have it for herself to lure out, Rei, Kenshiro, and Mamiya. Later on in the arc, Kenshiro, Rei, and Mamiya, they find their way to the lair of the Fang clan, and the three of them kick some ass, some Fang clan ass, basically. With Kenshiro with his Hokuto Shinken, Rei with his Nanto Suicho Ken, and Mamiya with her deadly yo-yos. And for those of you that may not know, it's actually a reference to the Hong Kong Kung Fu film, The Flying Guilty from Shaw Brothers. And it's also a reference to the Taiwanese Kung Fu film, Master of the Flying Guillotine, starring Jimmy Wong Yu. And it's a sort of a sequel / follow-up to the Hong Kong Kung Fu film, One-on Boxer, which Jimmy Wong Yu starred in as well, and is director for Golden Harvest, the same studio that gave us Angela Mao Ying, Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Sammo Hung, Yuen Bu, Jet Li, etc., etc. Anyway, so her yo-yos are a pretty good reference to that, which is cool. Like I said, they get to the hideout, they find the leader, and then suddenly, before they start to fight him, their leader, Kiba, reveals that he has Irie, and Rei was surprised to see her alive, and now she's blind, with all the trauma she had to go through after being captured. Rei wants to fight her, and, wants to free her, but he got stopped. And the leader said, hey, you have to kill Kenshiro before, and then he'll free Irie. Rei had to fight her, and Kenshiro was trying to tell him, listen, don't let the guy fool you. He's trying to kill us. But Rei wasn't trying to hear it because he's a hot-headed nigga. Sorry, but, I hate to say it, but he is around this time, you feel me? Especially like some of my homies that I know. I could be hot-headed too, but anyway. Kenshiro, tells him why. It's because of what happened between him and his friend, Shin, with the whole thing with Yuria. And he doesn't want the same thing to happen to Rei. He doesn't want Rei to go through all that. But Rei, he felt like he has to protect his sister. So, being then again, being hot-headed around this time, really emotional. And so Kenshiro said, alright, fine. I'm going to use one of Hokuto Shinken's techniques, and then Rei goes on with his, they fight, and allegedly they died, right? They kill each other. It was a draw. As soon as one of the members of the Fang clan decides to, some of them get killed off. Surprise, surprise, Rei and Kenshiro are still alive. Oh, I also got to mention that Mamiya got captured after she tried to free, Irie, You know what, Mamiya, she a badass, I could definitely have her as one of my, female fighting squad, you feel me? Especially with them kung fu yo-yos, you feel me? Kind of like Sukiban Deka, right? Anyway, Kenshiro and Rei, they mopped the floor with the Fang Clan henchmen, and Kiba got scared. A little scared a little bit. And so, and then he realized, but he said, you know what? No, before that, he decided, you know what? I'm going to kick some ass by using his iron armor like he did to the guy he killed to get Irie. But surprise, surprise, Kenshiro used his Hokuto Shinken to put an end to all that. And because his iron armor got Kiba's iron armor is no longer deadly, and he flees. And he's trying to use his sons to hide, like a bitch that he is. I'm sorry, but he is a bitch. You feel me? Kenshiro was able to mop the floor with him with the Gunzan Yuzan Ha. And now Kiba's dead. The entire Fang clan is demolished. On top of Kenshiro, mopped the floor with some of the other Fang clan members. On top of that, along with Rei and Mamiya and whatnot. So yeah. The three came off triumphant. The Fang clan is dead. They bring Irie back to Mamiya's village. Kenshiro uses his Hokuto Shinken, to hit the pressure points to heal Irie's eyes. You know what I'm saying? And all's pretty well, right? But Kenshiro brings in Rei to tell him about, the man with the 7 scars, and he reveals that he has those 7 scars to Rei, and Rei was shocked. But then, but then Irie comes in with Mamiya, Ling, and she can see her brother. And Ray was very happy, you know what I'm saying? And then he realized that Kenshiro isn't the type of man that would, hurt Irie and whatnot. And then, Ray asked about the man with the 7 scars that captured her, and she said that he had a helmet on. And because of this, it reminded Kenshiro of somebody, and we know who that somebody is, and that man is Joggy. And before that, a big giant dude comes in trying to, harass a woman, and her brothers try to protect her, but then she got saved unintentionally by a man with a helmet with 7 scars. And the man says, "Hey, say my name." And the giant man didn't care, and so Joggy said, "You know what? I'm gonna kick your ass if you don't tell him what my name is." And he tried to tell him by using a gun, but the big man was died by shock. And so the brothers thought, "Oh, thank you for saving us," but the man was like, "Boom! I didn't come to save her. I'm taking her as mine." And he has the 7 scars, just like Kenshiro. And like I said, this man is jogging, and he keeps shouting, "Say my name," or "Omae, uronoi timiro," basically. Yeah, that's basically the story arc, the Fang clan arc. I gotta say, this is a pretty good story arc in the manga, you feel me? We get some good character development from Kenshiro, and we get to see, Ray in his introduction. Mamiya, she's cool, especially with her badass kung fu yo-yos. Again, it was a reference to a lot of the old school Hong Kong and Taiwanese kung fu films, as well as a bit of a reference to Tsukiba Deka. Also, was like this female delinquent who also is a little detective as well, so pretty cool. The art is awesome as always. Tetsuo Hara is an awesome artist, you know what I'm saying? He definitely deserves his props, you feel me? And Buronson, as a writer, he definitely improved on his pen, you feel me? Just like a rapper. Like one of those top, lyrical MCs like a Rakim or Big Daddy Kane, or, a Tupac, a Kendrick Lamar, and MF Doom, a Scarface, Tom Rock III, and Eminem, you get what I'm saying? Yeah, this particular story arc definitely gets a 5 out of 5 in my book. Definitely an awesome arc. And next up is going to be the Joggy arc, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully y'all enjoy this review. Sorry if it's a little bit long. But there's so much I wanted to talk about in this arc, so yeah, let me know what y'all think about the Fang clan arc in the Fist of the North Star manga in the comments below if y'all read it already. If y'all like this video, y'all can hit that like button, share it. Y'all can subscribe to the channel if you enjoy this type of content. Y'all can also follow me on my other social media accounts, and stay tuned for more other reviews and more other videos along the way. So with all that said, this is your boy Ogechi Aghaji, aka Oaghaji, aka the Perfect Sensei, signing out. Peace.